Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing with you my 10 shopping mistakes women make, and I'm going to be sharing with you my tips and tricks on how to stop wasting your money. I don't know about you, but wasting money is one of my biggest pet peeves. In the past, I would make a lot of rash decisions in terms of my purchases, and over the years I had become a very conscious shopper, not only conscious about my spending, but also conscious about what I am consuming and purchasing. So I wanted to share with you guys my top tips and tricks to help you guys save your money and to help you guys avoid making some of the most common shopping mistakes. So without further ado, let's hop right in. The first shopping mistake a lot of us are guilty of, myself included, is paying full price for anything. Now, I know how easy it can be to get sucked into something that you are lusting after and having that quick knee-jerk reaction to take out your credit card for something. Luckily, there is a tool that I have been obsessed with for the last couple of years, and you guys would know that if you have been longtime followers of mine. It's called ShopTagger. I quickly want to thank ShopTagger for sponsoring this portion of the video, and I want to share with you guys how I use this tool, which is absolutely free, to help me save money when I'm shopping.
To start saving money with ShopTagger, the first thing you have to do is go to shoptagger.com and install the ShopTagger button on your browser. This is super easy and completely free to do. Once your ShopTagger button is set up, you're ready to shop and save money online. ShopTagger completely revamped their site recently and it's looking amazing, so I wanted to show you my current account and all the items I've been keeping my eye on for this season. As you can see, you can organize your items into lists like I have here, and you can also create wish lists that you can share with your friends or family to hint at what you would like for your birthday, special occasions. You get the idea. And of course, the feature that I use the most is the notification feature, which allows you to save money when you shop online. All you have to do is start shopping at your favorite online retailers and start adding all the items you're lusting after to your ShopTagger account using the ShopTagger button. That will save them to your account. You can opt to be notified if an item you want comes back into stock, or comes back in your size, or has any price change. Here I've selected to be notified of any price change. Once I've saved the item to my account, ShopTagger will notify me via email or mobile push notification as soon as any item I saved goes on sale. This way, I'll be the first to grab the deal before anyone else does. And that's how I use ShopTagger to shop smarter and save money when I shop online. If you want to try the ShopTagger app for free, click the link in my description box.
The next shopping mistake I'm sure a lot of us are guilty of doing is impulse purchases. Impulse purchases are very common, especially in today's world of social media and advertising. You get lured in by something that is being shown to you, and 99.9% of the time, it's something that you do not need. So what I like to do now, whenever I see an ad or I see one of my favorite influencers rocking the hottest trend or the hottest new fashion item, I take a step back and really think about if this is something that I really want, or if it's something that I want just because my favorite influencer is rocking it, or if I saw a really influential ad on that particular item. And most of the time, let me tell you, I do not need that item. So simply just being more aware of your purchases and thinking about the things that you need and the things that you don't need will really help you avoid making those impulse purchases. Aside from being aware of the things that I need and don't need in my life, if it's something that I'm lusting after, I will save it to either my saved photos on my Instagram, or I'll save it directly to my phone. And if a couple weeks later I'm still lusting over it and I still feel the same way over it as I did initially, then I will revisit the idea and do more research and think about it more logically. So to sum it up, to avoid making impulse purchases, always think about your purchases before making them, be more aware about it, and think about that purchase for a little bit longer than just 24 or 48 hours. Make sure that it's something that you really, really love, and it's something that you see yourself rocking in your wardrobe for a long period of time. Another mistake that I see very, very often is women hanging on to clothing that they haven't worn in over a year. Now, I used to be guilty of this. I used to hoard clothing like no one else because I would tell myself, you know what, this is cute. Maybe I will wear it in 6 months from now or a year from now. And then 2, 3, 4, 5 years pass and I still haven't worn that piece. So I have got into a habit of going through my closet every 3 to 6 months and doing a really deep cleaning of my wardrobe. I'm very honest with myself, and if there's something in my closet that I love, but I know that I haven't worn it in over a year, and there's a big chance that I'm not gonna wear it anytime in the near future, then I get rid of it. My personal favorite way of getting rid of my gently used clothing, or just sometimes brand new clothing that just sits in my closet that I don't get a chance to wear, is selling it on my Depop. This is not sponsored by Depop in any way. I've been using Depop for years, and it's probably the easiest way for me to sell my clothing. I also sell more high-end items through consignment stores, which is another great way to resell your gently used items. And of course, by selling your items on a platform like Depop or through consignment stores, you do get some of that money back. Sometimes if it's a designer item that appreciates in value, you will break even or make a little bit more on the money that you invested initially. So the way that I personally like to manage my money is all of the items that I sell on my Depop account, because they tend to be high street items like Zara and H&M. Whatever proceeds I make from selling those items on Depop, I always donate to the Breast Cancer Research Foundation. And anything I sell through consignment stores, which tends to be higher scale items, more luxurious designer items, I will recycle that money into something else that I have been lusting after. So that way I kind of give myself a spending budget of what I can spend on new items that I am lusting after. And that way I'm recycling that money into the wardrobe of my dreams, instead of haphazardly spending my money on things that I didn't think through. Another mistake that I see very often is women spending their money on poor quality clothes. Now, I completely understand that clothing from places like Forever 21 and H&M are super affordable, and it's realistic for most people. The problem is with these fast fashion brands is that a lot of their clothing is not made to last. Don't get me wrong, I still love my H&M, I still love my Zara, but I always make sure to read the labels. I've gotten into so many situations with Zara and H&M and a lot of other fast fashion brands where I didn't read the labels and I bought something that was poor quality and it didn't even last me a couple of months. So now I always read the labels, make sure that majority of the fabric that is used in the material is natural. That is usually a good sign that it is a high quality item that is going to last for a long time. And now almost all of the pieces that I have in my wardrobe that are from H&M or Zara, I've had in my closet for a couple of years and they are still in great condition. So fast fashion does not have to be a bad thing. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's something that will degrade really quickly and then you're gonna have to throw it out. I'm also one of those people that do not believe in throwing out clothing. It's one of the biggest polluters of our environment. So if I do have anything that I purchased in the past that is not the best quality and I know I'm not going to be wearing it, then I will just donate it. There are so many different things that you can do to recycle or upcycle your clothing, so I highly recommend checking out those options. But most importantly, always read the labels and make sure that whatever you're buying, you're fairly confident that it's going to last you a long time. Another very common mistake is purchasing clothing that you will only wear once, whether it is for a wedding or maybe it's for your birthday or some other kind of special event. That's one of my biggest pet peeves, when I know I have to buy something for an event where I'm probably not going to be able to wear that piece of clothing again. So in that situation, what I like to do is, first of all, look for something that I know has a little bit more versatility than just for that one event, whatever it may be. I always want to make sure that I'm going to get at least more than just 1 or 2 uses out of whatever I am buying. Another great way to avoid buying things that you know you will only wear once is to use a service like Rent the Runway. Again, this is not sponsored, but I think it's a great service because you can get access to a bunch of designer pieces, from dresses to tops or whatever it may be, for a fraction of the cost. You basically order it off their website, you rent it for the event that you need it, so you pay a very nominal fee. and you ship it back and there's no strings attached. And another thing I like to do with pieces that I feel like I can't wear again. For example, I had some bridesmaids dresses that were hanging in my closet for a couple years from weddings that I have been a part of, and I haven't been able to wear them again. So I just take them to a seamstress and have her change up the cut of the dress, and that way I can wear it again and no one will ever know that I wore that dress before. So you can take up the hem, you can add a little bit of extra material on the arms to change the design up a little bit. There's so many different things that you can do. You just have to be creative and really know how to work with what you have. Another big mistake that I see all the time is people buying into trends. This kind of ties into my previous point of making impulse purchases. Usually trends are something that looks super hot in the moment and you see all of your favorite influencers rocking it. I made a whole video about this. Currently, there are so many weird trends that are trending right now, like the bucket hats and the clear plastic bags and the fishnet bags. Now, if you are into any of those things, kudos to you, but me personally, I know that that's not my style and I know that I'm not going to get a lot of use out of it. That's why it's really important to know your style, know what you feel and look good in, and to avoid the things that are going to make you feel less than and not fall for those things just because they are on trend. The next shopping mistake that women make is probably one of the most important ones that I want to talk about, and that is buying something that is out of your budget. I cannot tell you how many times I see people living beyond their means, especially on social media. Social media is such a farce because there are so many people that are just putting out photos there of beautiful designer outfits and luxury exotic cars, beautiful homes. But 99% of the time, these people are living beyond their means. A lot of people do not know how to manage their money properly. So take those photos with a grain of salt and always keep it in the back of your mind that just because someone has, you know, a beautiful bag or a beautiful pair of shoes, an expensive car, it does not mean that they have that kind of money to spend on things. So don't feel like you ever have to compete. Always think about your own budget and what you can afford within your particular budget and what you can personally afford for yourself. Never feel pressured by anyone that you may see, whether on social media or in real life, because you really don't know what their financial situation is. I think this concept is so important to not only learn, but understand, because you should never ever feel pressured to compete with A, B, and C when A, B, and C is not managing their finances properly and living beyond their means. Another mistake that I see very often is people buying things brand new instead of buying things pre-loved. Now, I will admit I still buy a lot of new pieces, but over the years I have been spending more of my money on pre-loved items, vintage items from consignment stores and gently used online retailers like The Real. I think it's a great way not only to save some money but also find unique pieces that you will not be able to find anywhere else, and it's also a great way to kind of recycle previously used items. Like I said, the fashion industry is one of the biggest polluters in the entire world. So anything that you can do to kind of support the gently used market is going to help a lot. Now, the next mistake that I see very commonly is something that is probably very obvious, but it happens all the time, and that is buying unflattering clothes. Not only buying unflattering clothes, but keeping unflattering clothes. Now, I am a huge fan of online shopping. I probably buy majority of my clothes online versus in store just because it's convenient. I usually don't have time to go shopping in person, so I like when everything comes to my door and I can just try everything on in the convenience of my home. And in the past, I used to be a lot more kind of laissez-faire about the pieces that I was trying on. And a lot of the pieces that I would try on would be ill-fitting, and I would keep them anyway just because I didn't want to go through the entire return process. Nowadays, I am a lot more stingy and a lot more picky about fit, and I want to make sure that I not only look good, but I feel good as well. When you have an entire wardrobe of pieces that only make you feel and look good, it is such a liberating thing to know that you can just go into your closet, pick out whatever you feel like wearing, and it's gonna look great and you're gonna feel great. And lastly, just as important as it is not to buy clothing that is uncomfortable, the other mistake that I see very commonly is people buying clothes that is unflattering. Again, I want to remind you guys how important it is to make sure you try everything on and make sure that it looks good on you and you feel good in it. And if it doesn't make you feel that way, return it. The only exception is if it's a piece that you absolutely love and it needs minimal tweaking here and there to make it fit you perfectly, then in that case, I would just take it to a seamstress or a tailor to get it hemmed or fitted exactly to my body type. But if you think it's a piece that is not worth that kind of time and investment, it's not worth keeping, just return it. All right, you guys, so that wraps up my 10 shopping mistakes that women make. I really hope that you enjoyed this video and learned something new. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. As always, I want to thank you so much for watching and hanging out with me, and I'll see you in my next one.